PWP Nation,
where wrestling discussion lives.
Hotbox Hockey, hotboxhockey.com, puffpuckpass.com. Founded in Orange County, California, but based in St. Louis, Missouri, Hotbox Hockey is a lifestyle hockey brand infusing hockey and cannabis culture. They are the plug for hockey apparel, delivering threads to pylons, to beauties, and rockets alike. They draw inspiration from degenerates, booze hounds, burnouts, skids, home dressers, and other various benders while mixing in some coastal vibes. So remember the stretching before and after you play, and as the old adage goes, puff, puck, pass. Puff, puck, pass. Hotbox Hockey, hotboxhockey.com or puffpuckpass.com. And starting on September 27th, there is a end of summer sale where you can use discount code TARPSOFF for 50% off all shirts starting on September 27th. Again, TARPSOFF is your discount code for 50% off all shirts. Hotbox Hockey, hotboxhockey.com or puffpuckpass.com.
A team that was in last place on January 3rd. The players on the bench are bouncing up. History will be made tonight in Boston. 15 seconds to go as Shen blocks a puck to the corner. 10 seconds remaining. Get up, St. Louis. Get on your feet. Raise them high. 5 seconds to go, and the time winds down. They did it. It's over. The game is over. The series is over. The wait is over. And the St. Louis Blues are the Stanley Cup champions for the first time in franchise history.
Oh boy, we are back. Hockey Talks. Hockey Talks, baby. It's back. So excited. Offended. It's Hockey Talks presented by PWP Nation and Hotbox Hockey. We are back. Welcome back. Stoutsy, Tricky, we're here.
It came so soon.
It did. I know, right? It's like, did we get an off-season?
Oh, God, it's a good thing, though.
No shit, dude.
That's a good thing, though. Jeez.
Hockey Talks is back, and Hockey Talks presented by PWP Nation and Hotbox Hockey. Hotbox Hockey will be one of our main sponsors moving forward with this season, so welcome aboard. Tarps off discount. By the time this episode goes up, well, no, Friday, September 27th is when the end of the summer sales begins for their t-shirts. Tarps off is the discount code. Make sure you go plug that in.
Yes, sir.
But hockey, we're back, baby. Hockey returns this week,
man.
And what a way to kick things off than the Blues facing off against 2 years ago Stanley Cup champion winners. I guess 1 year? Do you say 1 year ago, I guess?
Last season?
See, yeah, how do you say that?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
The previous year?
But two Stanley Cup champions, the last two Stanley Cup champions facing off against each other to kick off the NHL season. I'm ready.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to be a good game. It's on, what's it on?
NBC. NBC Sports.
Yes, sir.
We have the Cardinals, Jesus Christ, I'm watching the end of the Cardinals game. The fucking Blues have, 15 to 18, NBC games this year or something like that?
I think so. It's around there.
That's a crazy amount.
Yeah, which is awesome.
As Biz would say, that's banana lands.
Yeah, I think last year we had 12.
Yeah. I think we might have the most of any team this season. Probably because the fucking NHL realized that the Blues are actually a marketable team, and we were the most watched Stanley Cup final. Was it ever that we were, or was it of the modern era?
It's up there.
We were the most watched, weren't we? I think
we were, or at least the most watched in the last 5 years or 10 years or something like that.
We broke the record. We broke the NHL
was-
record for most merchandise sold after a Stanley Cup win.
Yeah, I bet. Not surprised at all.
No, not at all, which is awesome. Like,
Yeah. I think, there's a lot of, just hockey fan, how like me and you were fans of certain teams. I think your normal hockey fans have become St. Louis Blues fans as well and get excited to watch our games. So
well,
it's good to see.
The Blues easily became America's team once Boston made it to the finals.
Yeah, easily. Nobody wanted to see Boston win again.
No, yeah. And the people saying that the Blues were a bunch of headshots are fucking idiots.
Yeah, it's like, Blues are dirty. It's like, God damn it. If you don't understand that when playoffs happen, the dirtiness comes out, then stop watching hockey.
No shit. It's another level of hockey. And preseason is definitely another level of hockey. Very slow-moving preseason. Like, God.
Yeah.
Like, the players, they're not hitting each other at all. You can just tell, like, it's preseason. Like, I remember going to a preseason game a few years ago, and there was just fights and hits. It's not like that anymore. It's just like...
No, it's not.
Like, you have players here and there who are obviously trying to make an impact, like Klim Kostin, for example, and
right.
He's having just one hell of a preseason. I think this preseason, honestly, should determine his spot on the roster. Like,
I think so, too. I mean, it's also, though, it's like I know Jordan Kyrou had a pretty good preseason last year, and then we kind of saw him fall off a little bit the more he got called up, so it's... It's hard to say. You never know what's going to happen with a guy like Klim Kostin if he were to get on the main roster and play but not do as much. It's kind of it can be hit or miss, but that doesn't mean the guy won't end up being a stud. But I mean, I think he should be on the. I think he's going to spot on the roster. Now, I would understand if we're not going to maybe if he's not going to start off with big minutes, then yeah, you throw him in the minor leagues and keep him playing and keep his game up to par. So
yeah.
I don't know. It's, I trust Berube and whatever Armstrong want to do with them. So,
yeah, Armstrong just putting his dick in our mouths again.
Yeah.
Fucking pulling off just an unbelievable trade, sending Joel Edmondson, Bach, and what was it, 2 picks?
2 picks, I think.
To Carolina for Justin Falk. I mean, just an unbelievable trade that I think the Blues got the better part of, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, this, me and you and most Blues fans were sitting here like, all right, we got a week till the season starts, and roster's looking good, got the same squad pretty much, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, fucking, they pull this trade off. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I thought it was fake on Twitter when I was scrolling through. I was like, oh, that's fake. And I was like, oh wait, no, that's like the NHL tweeting it or some shit. I was like, are you kidding me? Did we really just pull this off?
Let me tell you, if you try to make that trade in NHL in the video game, it's gonna get rejected.
Oh, dude, 100%, man.
Like, Armstrong, for much shit that we give him, and I'm not the biggest Armstrong fan, and I think finally last season, he finally did the right moves for once. Mm-hmm. I think in previous years, I think he kind of put bad contracts against us, and it's kind of cost us in the few seasons ago, especially like Shattenkirk or Bullmeister or Steen. Like Jake Allen now is one, and it's just like these contracts kind of fucking kill us in the long run.
Yeah,
last year it finally paid off, but now in the past 2 years, he's been pulling off some deals. It's just like, how are these other GMs agreeing to these deals?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he definitely has learned from his mistakes, and I think we obviously got pigeonholed a little bit with some of the contracts he gave out and stuff, and the no trade clauses, and I think he learned from his mistakes. And I think the other big thing too is we're finally letting some of these young guys play that don't have such crazy contracts, that you're not having to go out and try to find a mid-tier player with a contract that's going to lock up your team. And then it helps when you put some faith in those young guys with those smaller contracts. Like you look at the kids that helped us win a Stanley Cup last year and how much we're paying them. It's like it's a fucking steal. It's kind of the way you almost want to do it. I know it's not easy, but It definitely helps in the long run with contracts. You're not going out trying to pick up no offense to like Steve Ott and guys like that, but those guys aren't going to really do too much to help you win a cup, so you're wasting money there. So he's definitely learned. And he's got his dick in our mouth. So I'm happy about it. This Justin Folk trade was just crazy. People are saying people are saying we like some Carolina people are like, oh, good luck with him or something like that, or like picking on his game a bit. And I'm like, I'm sure there's aspects to his game that aren't perfect, but fuck, for us, this is huge.
Yeah, but remember those. We also had people last year that were saying, "Oh, good luck with O'Reilly. He doesn't produce or do anything for your team."
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking Conn Smythe winner, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, all right, whatever, Carolina. I don't know why you're hating on probably one of your best players on your team, but whatever, we'll take him.
He was I want to say top 5 last year for Carolina in points.
Probably. I mean, the guys. I think every season he's put up 10+ goals.
They had a strong power play, too.
Yeah. Well, he's fucking phenomenal on the power play. I think it's what was that stat? I retweeted it from somebody. It's like since 2011-12 when he came in the league, he has the 4th most power play goals behind Shea Weber, Oliver, or what's his name? Like Oakman. I can never say his fucking name. The Larson guy.
Oliver Ekman Larson.
I think so. Yeah, and then
fucking Bender.
I couldn't say his name.
Not the player. You. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
I just have to clarify that before some social justice warrior gets all worked up when they hear this.
And he's tied with Brett Burns, 40 goals since that time in power play, on power play. So it's that's fucking huge for us, and I'm excited. And I imagine he's going to come in amped up like O'Reilly did.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah, and I'm not expecting this guy's not going to give us 60, 70 points. He's going to be in between the 40, 55 range probably. That's kind of how his career is. But there's so much more to his game, puck movement and whatnot. And
his power, just the power play alone is just that's
it's going to be huge. I hope
it's like fucking. It's like having Shattenkirk back, but better at defense.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Shattenkirk was good offensively, but defensively he's dog shit.
Right.
In recent years, players have figured out his play, and it's not that hard to play against him. In my opinion, I don't think it is.
Yeah, you just kind of blow air at him, and he'll just get out of the way.
Right. And last year, last year, Justin Falk had 11 goals, 24 assists. He was a +9, 10 power play points. 217 shots on goal and 121 block shots. The 121 block shots is a stat that just sticks out to me as a defensive player.
That's good positioning.
Yep, and that's something that the Blues have kind of struggled with in the last few years. And obviously, it's so hard to say struggled just because we won the fucking Stanley Cup last year. But blocking shots up until the postseason was a major fucking issue, I think, for the Blues.
Mm-hmm.
And
we were always getting shots blocked and not blocking shots.
Right, and we were a team that defensively, we had good defensive players, but they weren't what's the word? They weren't really sound as a defensive unit. And then all of a sudden in the postseason, we became the best defensive team any of the other 15 teams that made the playoffs. The Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Final was one of the greatest defensive games I've ever seen by any team in the Stanley Cup game.
Everything just started clicking.
That game.
Yeah, everything just started clicking. They just started playing smarter with more confidence and found a groove, and it was huge to see. It definitely showed the level that some of these guys can go to, especially guys like Parayko and then Vince Dunn and stuff. It's
right.
They found a new level to their game where it's oh, okay, I can do this. All right, that's good to see. So I imagine Folk's going to be the same way, and he's going to love playing with more skilled guys than Carolina had. Nothing against Carolina, but last year was it wasn't a fluke. They worked their asses off to make that run, but we're definitely more skilled of a team, so he's going to love coming here. And
they're losing their leader this year, too.
Yeah, Justin Williams is taking some time off.
You don't even know if he's going to come back. He might just end up retiring.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to do the whole. Who was the guy from Nashville?
He's married to Carrie Underwood.
Yeah, Mr. Underwood. He. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name because I actually don't hate the guy. He was a good hockey player.
What was his fucking name? Dude, it's driving me crazy.
I know, it's driving me crazy too.
Dude, I can see his face.
So can I.
What the fuck? Like, this is like very well known.
Mike something? Mike?
William? No.
Mike, Mike with an N, Mike N.
Wow, we're doing really good of talking hockey here. We can't even remember the fucking player's name. Mike Fisher. Fucking Christ, it's Mike Fisher.
Oh my God, there we go.
God.
He's good start. Yeah, he did that last year. Was it last year? Yeah. He quit and then came back.
Might have been 2 years ago.
Maybe 2 years ago.
I think he retired. Yeah, I think he was a full season retired last year because Roman Josi was their captain last year.
That's right. So, but yeah,
underrated Roman Josi. Let me just say.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, folks come into a team with a lot more skills, so I think he's going to like that. He's going to know he can dish the puck out more. Or he's going to have a lot of skilled guys to help him out up at the point and whatnot. So yeah, I'm excited, man. He's going to come fired up like O'Reilly. I think it's going to be.
I agree.
But I think people should be really excited and should be really happy to see what he does. But I'm sure he'll probably the first 5 games not put up a point. People be like, "Why'd we get this guy?"
Right.
Some Blues fans are still stupid.
Right. It might take him a few games to get into the groove of things, like our team last year,
our system and stuff. So
yeah,
everybody's I hate the people that are like, "Well, what are we gonna do with the lefty righty matchup and the blah 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 blah?" And it's just dude, these players are skilled enough to play both sides. I mean, yeah, sure, it doesn't make the most sense, but sometimes you can do it. Plus, there's going to be injuries and certain defense. They're going to Folk might click better with who knows Parayko. You got two righties, but
you're telling me Gunnarson's going to stay healthy all year?
Yeah, exactly. It's it'll be just because if you look around the league, how many leagues actually have lefty righty lefty righty lefty righty? It's not it's nothing new if we have two righties out there.
Right.
So, and like you said, he's skilled enough to where he can play on his offhand. So, I'm not worried about D pairs right now. It'll all work out.
Right.
And I'm just fucking amped, dude. That happened yesterday, and I was about to run through a fucking wall. I was like, "Are you kidding me?
I know. I was
we just did this."
Shit.
It's what?
I texted my dad. Off? And my dad was like, "Holy shit! I love Falk." I'm like, yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I texted my dad too, and he goes, "The guy from Carolina said, yeah." My dad was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "Yeah, I know. This is huge." And then he goes bye. He goes bye Petro.
No doubt. To me, this kind of I think Armstrong's now in a place where after the whole Shattenkirk thing, I don't think he's going to start letting players just walk for nothing. I think Maroon was a different example because it's it was a 1-year deal anyways, and more than likely was never going to re-sign with us anyways. Right. With that said, Shattenkirk royally fucked us.
Yeah, he's a big old douche about it. I want to go to New York. I want to go home. Go home.
So we were supposed to trade him to Edmonton first, and because he didn't want to stay in Edmonton, he vetoes that trade. We were supposed to get Taylor Hall.
Yep.
And then we tried to trade him to Tampa Bay. Rumor was the player that we were getting in return was Stamkos.
Yeah.
And a lot of other people think that the player that we were getting in return was Kucherov, which was fucking Christ. So fuck Shattenkirk 3 times.
Right.
We trade him to Washington for literally a bag of pucks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nothing.
He goes, it shits the bed, still gets a great deal in New York, and then New York buys his contract out. And where does that motherfucker signed? Where's that motherfucker signed? Yeah, fuck him.
Fucking Tampa.
Fuck him, the balding piece of shit.
Yeah, no shit. But yeah, I don't know. I think Armstrong did his interview where he's hoping they can find room to be able to sign Shen and Petrov. So I mean, I'm sure we don't know all the ins and outs, and there's probably some mathematical way to figure it out. But Armstrong's not going to screw us just to sign those two guys. We'll figure out something. So
right,
I don't know. Kind of depends how the year plays out with Petrov. So if we need a move at the trade deadline, he's could potentially be the one to go. But I mean, if we're playing good and he's dominating, I don't know. There's a lot of elements to it. So
the rumor that I saw is that we're pretty far apart, Petro and signing a new deal. So if he gets traded halfway through the season or at the trade deadline, I would not be surprised, unless we're in like first place in the division.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. And it's like, fuck, even if he's doing really good too, that just brings his value way up. So it's tough because it's your captain. You just want a Stanley Cup. He's not like the worst thing in the world. So it's you got to think it's like he's 30. He's going to want a big contract, and if we want to be serious about to keep contending and getting good, better players and be able to sign more guys than just Petro and fucking put ourselves in a Bouwmeester type situation, then sometimes you just got to let the guy go. So
and in what 2 or 3 years, Tarasenko and O'Reilly's contract are going to be up at the same time. You have to put that into factor too. Like those are two players you have to re-sign. I'm sorry, Petro, but O'Reilly and Tarasenko are two players in the coming years like that have to get re-signed. Tarasenko is the one I would want more over O'Reilly just for the fact of like he is the heart and soul of the St. Louis Blues.
And play a whole career in a same place.
And Tarasenko has said like St. Louis is home. Like it's his home from obviously Russia. He was like it's his home away from home. Like he feels comfortable in St. Louis. He never wants to leave St. Louis. Like sign the guy. He's our like Molina. Like sign the fucking guy.
Yeah, definitely.
I will be just. I don't even think I won't. Like I'll be mad if that ever happened. If we didn't re-sign him or traded him, I'll just be like sad more than anything.
Yeah, just like damn it. I mean, it's the nature of the business. Yeah, so it's. Yeah, that would be a hard one to swallow, but as we've seen more and more in sport, it's hard to get those career guys who stay the whole time here. So
he's one.
We'll see.
I just see him as a guy who just wants to stay here, and
so do I.
And to all the idiots that are like, well, he doesn't really produce. He's like has the most goals. Like in the last 5 years, he's like number 2 to Ovechkin for most goals scored in the regular season. Also, in the last 5 years, he's number 2 to Ovechkin in the most goals scored in the playoffs, which is insane considering that like last year was the first time we made it past the second round in how long? Like,
yeah, and the amount of games that he's played. So yeah. So shut up, shut up, you idiots.
Shut up, indeed. All right, let's move away from the Blues for a second because I know we'll probably talk about them a little more when we get into our predictions. Just like last year, our first episode, we're going to predict the top 8 teams from each conference into the playoffs as like a playoff teams who would make the playoffs, and we'll also predict Stanley Cup winners, maybe the finalists.
Yep.
See what happens. And then at the end of the year, right before the playoffs start, we'll see how we do, how we did. Maybe put a bet on the line.
Oh, maybe.
We'll figure that out. And also we're going to pick who we think will win each division.
Yep.
All right. But before we get into that, if you guys want to hear any news or our take on the Austin Matthews situation, go listen to our podcast, Offended, which is out now. Or will be out tomorrow. I keep fucking forgetting that I'm putting this out tomorrow now. I keep forgetting that Hockey Talks will be first and then Offended.
It's okay. You'll figure it out.
I know. I'll figure it out. Hey, we're back. You know, it's been a while since we've done a Hockey Talks and I have to promote everything.
Yeah, we also just did like a fucking 2-hour.
Which was good.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't one of those episodes where I'm like, we're like going too long or anything like that. Because there's sometimes, I think every podcast gets like that where you're just like, there's like nothing going on. Like,
yeah, and we're just like trying to fill air.
Right. So if If you want to hear our take on the Austin Matthews situation, tune in to Offended tomorrow. That's one of our main topics of the show. We go pretty deep into it, too. We don't just, talk about just Austin Matthews. We talk about other issues that are going on in society and what's fucked up and, everything. So, highly recommend tuning in tomorrow. Just find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts, just by searching Offended. Subscribe, follow, give us that 5-star rating. Hockey Talks will be on that same platform as well. All right. With that being said, Matthew Tkachuk, I think you finally signed a deal with Calgary?
He finally did. He signed a 3-year deal. I think it's what was it? Like a 27 mil or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
to turn
it.
on the sound to NXT so bad right now.
I think it's a 3-year deal worth that much. Yeah, remember it's nothing too crazy.
No, not at all.
3 years, 21 million. So
that's not bad at all.
7 years. That's not bad at all compared to what some of these guys are getting just based on their potential.
If anybody listens to Spit and Chicklets, fucking what Bissonnette said, I agree with 1,000%. And it was Winitsky, I think is how you pronounce his name, the defenseman that just signed with Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
He took a very small deal, but he took a lot of years. So over time, that contract will build up with I think an option in the second of last year, I think it was.
Okay,
but he took a team deal where it's he took a smaller cut in order to get other players to the team, and to me, I like that more. You're there, you're signing there to win. You're signing there to win the Stanley Cup. Your main goal is to get to the Stanley Cup. If you're a player, and to me, Mitch Marner.
Yeah, I was about to bring him up.
And you're signing this gigantic deal. To me, that's kind of you're putting the Maple Leafs now in this this little tight hold a little bit.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, dude, Mitch is a hell of a player. Guy's good. I'm not saying he wouldn't deserve the money he got, but it almost seems like he's too worried about the money and not winning. I don't know. I mean, obviously can't speak for the guy, but it's just kind of what it seems like. And it's dude, I mean, look at that squad you got in Toronto. It's, might have to swallow your pride a little bit and take a few dollars off to help the team out, and if you really want to win a Stanley Cup.
Right.
So, but, yeah, that's why, I mean, I was sitting here how was Matthew Tkachuk not signed to a team? We were 2 weeks away from the season. I'm what are they just ignoring the fact this guy just racked up 70 points last year, and it's just a complete fucking wrecking ball of a player, and they don't have a contract for him? I was what the hell? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. That just blows my mind. Sorry, I'm trying to make a Snapchat right now. I'm listening to you, and I'm agreeing with you in my brain. I'm I totally agree, and I'm nodding. And then as I'm nodding, I realize oh, you can't see me nodding.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what you were doing.
Hey, dude, we took 1 week off. I'm out of the I got to relearn how to do a podcast again.
Oh my god, yeah, I wasn't sure what you were doing there.
You'll see,
but
you'll get the Snapchat.
Cool. But yeah, I mean, thank God he finally got that fucking deal signed. It's guys like that shouldn't be fucking sitting there not getting in training camp and stuff, preparing for a season. It's fucking Christ. That guy's one of the better players in the league.
Right.
Figure it out. Figure it out, owners.
Are there any other players that aren't signed yet?
I don't think so. Off the top of my head, nobody. Because they really mostly got
huge. Pretty signed up, didn't they? Recently now.
Yeah. I can't think of anybody. Tkachuk was the only one I could think of that, a big name where I was okay, somebody's got to figure this one out.
3 weeks ago, there was 5 of them, and you're how are these guys not signed? And all of a sudden they started getting signed, and I'm drawing a blank on a lot of them, but I know that there was a few that was just Barbashev was one of them.
Well, Barbashev had to wait for. They were kind of, I guess, waiting to see what the Maroon situation was going to be. Then there were the rumors that he was going to go to the KHL, and I was like, he's not going there. Tarasenko's not going to allow Barbashev to leave.
Right.
No way, no how. Tarasenko will give him money on the side if he stayed.
Right.
Yeah. I wasn't worried about that one at all. But yeah, there's a handful of guys where it was like, what's going on with the league? And that's when people kind of started calling out the owners, where it's like, this is ridiculous, and no wonder there might be a lockout. Right. It's like, geez.
That was one I wish we got my uncle on for, because I would love to hear him just fucking going nuts, because he was ranting to me at a golf tournament about how these people, oh my god, we want Maroon over Barbashev. My uncle's like, what the fuck are you guys thinking? I wish we would have gotten him on for the rant, because I totally agree. It's like, people are mad that we signed Barbashev over Maroon, and it's like, are you kidding me? Like,
those are the idiots that like are just saying, it's like, but he's from St. Louis, and like, he won us a cup, and it's like, you're kind of missing the reality of it, that Barbashev is going to be the better player than fucking Maroon. Right. And
Barbashev was like, 2 years ago, Barbashev was supposed to be this huge up-and-comer for the Blues, and then kind of like, I always liked Barbashev. I liked his style. He was kind of one of those players that looks like he never really took a shift off. Like, he was always flying around. If he wasn't doing anything, he was hitting. And in the postseason, man, he proved that 1,000% in my opinion. And it was that, dude, he just fucking was flying. Like, especially in the last 2 rounds, man, Barbashev took over. Like,
yeah, that
whole line did.
He definitely, last year, like, I felt as the year went on, he just kept getting a little bit better and better. And it's because, and we talked about it a lot last year, that he wasn't stuck on a fourth line playing with, like, and like I said, no disrespect to these guys, but, like, they were less skilled players. I mean, yeah, Scotty Upshaw worked his dick off, and so did Steve Ott and players like that, but he was playing with guys that, like, couldn't keep up with his skill or whatnot, and Hitchcock was holding him back and making him play a game that's not his, doesn't fit his style. So it was almost like you didn't see how quick he could be, how skilled he could be. And last year he was finally able to kind of break out a bit and play with some more skilled guys and play that young, quick game, and definitely made a difference.
Yep, totally agree. What was I had something else I wanted to bring up before we get into our predictions. The CBA that was announced a few weeks ago, that they're not going to option to look into the CBA. You still there? Stout? Did we lose him? Oh, no. Hey, we'll get him right back. All right, so we got Stoutsy. You back? You back?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. Good.
Holy
good start.
Shit.
What?
Are you watching NXT right now?
Yeah.
Did you just see that move Keith Lee just did?
This roll up?
The what?
The roll up that just happened?
No, he jumped over the top rope.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Oh, I'm ahead of you.
Oh yeah, YouTube TV. Anyway, all right, back to the hockey talk though. Since your phone died like a little poor person, but what I brought up was the other big hockey news is the CBA deal and how the NHLPA, the Player Association, has decided not to option to look into it.
Yeah.
Which is the thing that I don't like is why wait until basically the beginning of the season to say what are you going to do or not? That should be said immediately following the Stanley Cup. Yeah,
it really should. It's
just poor. That's just poor planning. It's lazy.
Yeah, that's what it's lazy, and it's just it's just annoying. We just can't have another lockout. Not now. I feel like hockey's just continuing to grow and grow.
I don't think I don't think there's going to be. This is the first time, at least since. So in 2005, I remember being a kid, just being there's going to be a lockout. I remember just being a kid, just being disappointed. So I'm there's totally going to be a lockout.
No.
And then, what was it in 2013? Was 13, that the other one?
I think it was 13, yeah.
When that was going on, I'm there's going to be another fucking lockout again. And I'll never forget, I checked on that shit every fucking day until like they were like, we're back, we're doing a half season. And I'll never forget, because like it was like late at night when they announced it, like they reached a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget just laying in bed, and I was getting ready to fall asleep, and I saw that they reached a deal, and I got up and like got in my car and was just like blasting music, and like I think I went and picked up Clodius, and like we just went and drank like at a park, celebrating. Like, we were so happy, like Aki's fucking back, and then the realization set in, like, watch the fucking Blues win the Stanley Cup this year, and we have that asterisk next to us, and we're like, oh fuck.
That's the only thing I hate. I was like, God, I hate a half season, but I guess it's better than nothing.
No, the Hawks won it that year, so they got that asterisk. But but this year, this is the first time where I'm like, there's no way there's going to be a lockout. Like, revenue is up in the league. Players are getting like big money deals. They're finally. Are you there? Are you there?
Yeah, we good?
Yeah, did I lose you again?
Yeah.
But holy shit. I don't know if you heard what I was saying, but I'm like, this year I didn't think that there was going to be a lockout because the revenue's up. Players are getting big money deals. Players are finally getting deals that they should be getting compared to like other sports. Like,
right.
And in, what was it, 2005, I think they said on Spit and Chicklets, the cap hit was like 25 million. That's insane.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah. Now it's what, like 80 something or
it's
something?
80
crazy?
It's 89, I think, right now.
Yeah.
Which is
crazy.
Fantastic. So of course the NHLPA was like, no, we're not going to option because like we're pretty happy with the way everything's going. And Whitney was saying how bullshit the last lockout was because the owners won in a way and the players really got fucked. It's because there was a rollback. There was like a 30% rollback.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it was bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you said, now it's like the revenue's growing and the whole fucking sport is growing. Yeah, no, it's not NFL, NBA, baseball, but it's getting bigger and
yeah,
there just can't be another lockout. No way it's going to happen.
No, and with the expansion of Seattle coming in next year, I highly, highly, highly doubt there will be a lockout. The NHL will do everything in their power not to lock out with the brand new team coming in. And honestly, having another team coming in may have saved like us from a lockout.
Yeah, I think so. And it's like, listen, fuck, the last 2 years, if you think about it, you had a team Vegas come in and make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, and that was just a sports frenzy all over the world.
Yeah.
That made it interesting.
That was so much fun having them in there.
A team like us have a run last year to win a cup, and it fucking goes all over the goddamn world. It's definitely, I think those two things also help fucking be like, yeah, no, it's just, there can't be a lockout. Like, look how crazy and fun this game could be. The unexpected could happen. That's what makes it one of the best games in the world.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Just going to keep building revenue, and and now you're starting to see players kind of become more spotlighted a bit. Austin Matthews, but not in the way he is now. But like the Austin Matthews, the Connor McDavid's doing. They're doing all the endorsements and stuff that are big. They're kind of becoming like the certain football players where they're a little bit flashy. Kind of, they're starting to.
Yeah.
They can. What am I trying to say?
They can market it.
Yeah, exactly. They're becoming more marketable players and
like,
stuff.
You look at like other sports, and you look at like, say the NFL, for example. You have probably 50 different players in that league that are like, they're household names. You know who they are.
Right.
The NHL is getting like that. What's cool about the NHL right now is that you almost have one player on every team that's a household name. And that's the biggest thing that the NHL needs, and any sports needs, honestly, is every team needs to at least have one player. You need to sell that game. Why? How can you sell that game? Who's the all-star in that team?
Exactly.
So for people to say it's stupid that one player from each team makes the All-Star game, it's honestly not. It's brilliant fucking marketing, because that way it gets you to remember who those players are to the casual fans. Like, oh, yeah, he was at the All-Star game last year. The casual fan will watch that. Like, that's brilliant marketing. Like,
exactly. You're 100% right.
So the CBA, I think it's a win. I think it's a win all around that it's not an option to review it this year. I think it's a total win.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And there was some people that were saying, like, it's not like, it's just going to happen again. It's just like, how do you know that? You don't know that. Like, this is the most progress, like, they've ever made, like, in a CBA deal. Like, at least within the last 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a turning of the tide, and so we might not ever have this conversation again for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully. I hope so.
That would be ideal. That would be the plan. Like,
because after winning the Stanley Cup, it's like, I don't think I could go another season without fucking hockey.
Right, dude. Like, it's just that was one of the coolest. This summer, by far, hands down, was the greatest summer of my life. Like,
yeah.
Just everything, the people that was surrounding me, my family, it brought my family closer. Not like that we weren't close already, but just watching the games with them, like experiencing everything, and just like everything wrapped into one.
I'm glad you had the time of your life watching it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I didn't, but whatever.
Hey, you did it. You took one for the team.
I took one for this whole goddamn city. Where's my fucking parade?
For those that are listening that don't understand what we're talking about, Jim has poopy poo-poo butthole syndrome, and he has ulcerative colitis. You can't leave your house.
Yeah.
Have we done in the past year? Have we done any hockey talks with you in person? Maybe the one right after the Cup win.
I think the one right after the Cup win, yeah.
And I think maybe the first one of the year.
Yeah. That was it. Yeah.
Just do better. Just do better. Just feel better. It sucks. I really don't like podcasting by myself.
I don't either. Yeah, dude, I can't go. Like, when the lockout happened in 2013, I hadn't been playing hockey for like a year or two, but I was like kind of okay with it because I was upset that I didn't play hockey anymore and whatnot, and I was like, whatever. But like now, like, since I don't play at all, like, I need the NHL. Like, I can't. Yeah. I don't have anything to fill that void. I'm not going to watch the NBA. I don't like the NFL, so it's like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. Fucking, I guess buy the KHL hockey package, maybe. Watch some European. I don't know. So yeah, I'm glad it's not happening. And hope it never fucking happens again.
Right. All right. Well, before we get into our predictions, real quick, let's hear a quick word from one of our sponsors, the ABC Anything But Credible podcast.
Well, hello there. Dukes, Keith, and Griff here from the Anything But Credible podcast, a.k.a. the ABC Pod. Fellas?
Holla. Oh, hello.
We're here to let you know that you could be possibly missing out on the best podcast ever created, aside from the Offended podcast, of course, and you don't want to be missing that. Now, what makes us the best? Griff? Yeah, great. Keith? Exactly. Look, I'll keep it really simple for you. Crazy people, crazy news, crazy theories, crazy uncredible. That's right. We made that word up. Griff, Keith, say something crazy for me.
Russia wants you to believe in Finland. Real.
Nice. Look, you can find us just about anywhere that you get your podcast, especially Apple Podcasts. Also, don't forget to hit us up on Facebook at ABC Pod. That's ABC POD. Twitter at _ABC Pod. And Instagram at ABC Podcast. Check in with us for a new episode every Monday and join the conspiracy to commit stupid. We will see you then, and shout out to the Offended Podcast.
Adios. Later, guys. Like you more than a friend.
All right. Time to get into these predictions, eh?
Let's do it.
All right.
Where we starting?
So we're going to start with divisions first. We're going to go from divisions to the top 8 teams to make the playoffs. I guess, we didn't do an order last year. We just picked 8 teams, right?
Yeah, I think we just picked 8 teams.
So I guess we'll just do that again. Because I think last year we made it pretty hard on ourselves. So I think we picked 3 teams from each division. And then I think we tried to do the like top 8, and then we were just like, fuck, we fucked ourselves because we're picking other teams higher that we already like put like at 2 or 3. Like in the division.
We definitely made it way harder and just way more complicated than we needed to.
Yeah. So right now, let's I guess let's start with the Atlantic Division. Who do you have coming out of that? And a new thing I want to add in. I'm going to add it to every division. Who's going to be the bust in that division? This will be like a little bonus.
The bust, like a team that we think that was going to do. Oh my gosh, that Tayana Conti wrestler just came on the screen.
Oh, you're ahead of me because I got Dakota Kai, which she's back. Yeah. So for your wrestling fans,
awesome. But so as a bust, you mean like a team that you think would should make the playoffs but won't?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. I can do that. Okay. That was my little Letterkenny impression. I love when they do that in that show.
Want to have a Donnybrook?
Where he's like, what's the big guy's name? Like the fatter guy?
I don't know. I don't really watch it.
Oh my god, you need to, dude. It's hilarious. But anytime somebody wants to have a discussion with the main like big country boy guy, he's always like, "Oh, okay, Donnie, okay, all right, Donnie, okay," and then he like goes to prove his point.
Yeah, sorry. What's her name just came on my screen?
Yeah, boy. Okay, so the Atlantic Division.
Yeah, so we'll start with the Atlantic Division. Let's go with who you think will win the division first. We'll save the bus for last.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm totally going to say Tampa Bay as well.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any question. I think they're going to be out for a fucking vengeance this year.
Mm-hmm. I think so, too. Like, I think picking up Maroon, I think, is going to be a very important piece like he was to us. And as much as I don't want to admit it, I think Shattenkirk's game probably picks up playing on that team.
He's good. I think Shattenkirk's going to have a decent year. He's determined. Like, I mean, if he doesn't have a good year, he's a prime example of a player who like just has no fire. Like, I don't know how else to put it. Like,
yeah, just kind of a puss.
Yeah, like for real. Like, if I'm Shattenkirk, I'm coming into the season guns fucking blazing. Like,
if I'm Shattenkirk, I'm coming into Tampa Bay like Falk's coming into St. Louis. Like, okay.
Right.
I need to come in fired up.
Yeah. Like, I need to fucking give 100% every shift. Like, every game.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I definitely got Tampa coming out on that division. Vladimir, I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah, shut your dog up. I shut mine up. Yeah, I got Tampa Bay for sure. Tampa Bay, I think they're going to be scarier than they were last year. Like, you're coming in pissed off. Like,
I don't know if they'll put up 60 wins again, but they'll.
No, but I think they'll win the division. I don't think and I think that might be better for them if they don't do that. Like, because let's be honest, like definitely. They clinched so early that, dude, like they clinched yeah, exactly, dude. They clinched the conference so early that it was like they had about 10 games left where it's just like it didn't matter, basically.
Yeah,
they could have lost
February, almost March.
Yeah, they clinched in March or like beginning of March, like you said, February, March, and just they could have lost out their last 10 games and still would have been first in the Eastern Conference. Still would have been President's Trophy winners.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, like that's insane. So yeah, obviously, like the play's not going to be good because at that time, like you take away that momentum, basically. And it was
we're just the complete opposite of the Blues.
To me, the game that really stuck out to me last year was when they played the Blues, and the Blues ended up scoring like, what was it, 3 quick goals in the first period on them. It was the second time we played.
And then they almost came back and beat us.
Yeah. But it was just like then, because they had already clinched at that point, and it was just like, I just remember turning to my grandpa, I'm like, this is what happens when you clinch too early. Like, they're not, their minds are not there.
No.
Mentally,
Yeah.
they're not playing at the level that they were a month ago.
Yeah, it's almost like they were just playing on skill alone.
Yep.
Which, as Herb Brooks said, can't just win on talent alone.
Right. I'm not looking for the best players. I'm looking for the right players.
Exactly.
So who's the bust coming out of this division?
So tough to say because if you look at that division, I mean, you got Tampa, Toronto, and Boston, and then the rest of the division's kind of like So, as a bust, oh man, I'm gonna go with. I don't know how much of a bust this is, but I'm going to go with the Sabres because I think they should be better and can be better. And they should have at least be a wild card team, but I think they miss again.
Mm-hmm.
That's just it's tough to pick. It's like there's Florida, Montreal, Buffalo, Detroit, and Ottawa.
Right.
It's like, yeah, they're almost all bust in a way, but yeah.
For me, the bust, I'm going to pick the Florida Panthers just because they have Joel Quenneville as their new head coach. They signed Sergei Bobrovsky. They're not that bad of a team overall, but I don't think they make the playoffs this year. I think they're a couple players away from being like a decently well team.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I got it's either between like Buffalo and Florida, I think. Yeah,
I think I have to agree with that. My gut a little bit is saying Toronto, but there's just no way. They have too many good players.
Yeah, I almost want to say Boston just because.
Just fuck them.
Yeah, just fuck them. So.
Let's move on to the Metropolitan. Who you got winning this division?
I'm going to go with the Penguins.
Penguins?
Going with the Penguins. I think Mr. Crosby's hungry again.
Yeah, and Gino's going to fucking coming out guns blazing as well.
I don't think they did anything too crazy or different to their team, did they?
Kessel left, and Kessel's in Arizona, and they just got somebody pretty decent, too, I thought.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The biggest question mark for me is Matt Murray.
Yeah.
I think he needs to be a little more consistent and a little better. He's kind of like, honestly, he's like Jake Allen.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing for him, though, is all around, Pittsburgh's a pretty damn good team. So, and he's got a good team in front of him to help him out. But I don't see him winning them many games is the issue.
Right.
So.
Oh, man. I'm going to go with... What? What were you going to say?
I was going to say, who do you got coming out?
I'm going to go with Washington.
Okay. That's fair.
I think they kind of have a bounce back year. It's not like, what's his name? Kuznetsov got suspended for 3 games.
Yeah.
Dude, that was in a fantasy hockey draft the other day, and people weren't drafting. Like, if it was my turn, I would have drafted him. People weren't drafting him because they're like, oh, he's suspended. I'm like, he's suspended for 3 games. Like,
yeah, he's probably gonna miss like 4 games for an injury anyway, just because it's fucking hockey. So like, what's the point?
Like, draft like he's gonna be like a good player, like still like.
Right. Yeah. Like, people are so dumb.
Right. It's not like, and we'll get to this team. It's not like Winnipeg.
Yeah. No shit.
But yeah, I think Washington just has a bounce back year. Oshie's going to be coming back from an injury that he got in the playoffs. I think he'll be a little motivated. Ovi, I think, is totally going to be motivated this year. I mean, he has his own cereal out right now. Ovios.
I mean, you got someone who's one of the best players in the league still doing what he's doing. That team's going to be competitive.
Yeah, for sure. I think a team to watch out for a sleeper are the Islanders. Getting Varlamov as their goaltender, I think, is huge.
Yeah, that's really huge. But they just didn't look like a very good team in the playoffs.
Islanders?
The second round.
Oh, second round, yeah.
The second round, I think, kind of showed their because who they beat in the first round?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. That's right. Yeah, I think that was just like that. But that was, I think, the Pittsburgh. There was like a little bit of a Pittsburgh hangover.
Yeah.
They've just been rolling like nonstop forever.
And on the thing of you picked Pittsburgh to win the division, and the thing I kind of agree with, because I was debating between them and Washington, but the thing that's gonna be, I think, a lot rides on Malkin this year, and Malkin did not have. He had a terrible year last year in terms of like numbers for him, and Malkin actually even blamed himself for like why Pittsburgh did not go far and were pretty average last year. And Malkin said that he thinks he had a lot to do with him. But also at the same time, which I thought was kind of interesting, Malkin apparently rumored that him and Kessel did not get along, and that's why Kessel got traded.
Probably because Kessel kept eating all the food.
Well, apparently Malkin was he wants out of Kessel staying.
Mm-hmm. I remember hearing that.
Yeah,
which is kind of fair, I guess.
Yeah.
Phil's kind of he's a good player, but he's kind of in his own head sometimes. So
well, he had issues in Toronto.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's always got some kind of little issue going on. It's like, come on, man.
Look at him on the bench too. Always talking to himself, slamming the fucking bench door.
Yeah.
I mean, you get it. He's into the game and all, but it's just sometimes it's just dude, just calm down. Relax a little bit, and your game might be better.
Almost too big of a baby sometimes.
Right. Who's your bust from the Metropolitan Division?
My bust is going to be. I'm going to go with the Hurricanes.
Yep, that's who I'm picking too.
And it doesn't have too much to do with the Justin Folk trade. It's just, I don't know if they can do what they did last year. I think they'll be a competitive team. I think they'll miss the wild card by a point or two.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't think they see the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I'm going Carolina as well. And like you said, it has nothing to do with that trade. It has to do with, for me, it has a lot to do with the uncertainty of Justin Williams. And
yeah,
he led that team last year.
Yeah.
A lot of the games that they won were Justin Williams fucking producing just playoff Justin Williams and fucking clutch Justin Williams.
Yeah, and they're going to be missing, he's not going to be there. And I know we said the Folk trade has nothing to do with it, but Folk was one of their, I think he was an assistant captain.
Yep.
You're
losing two leaders now.
You're losing two veteran leaders there. And Williams, yeah, granted, he wasn't the best player in the league, but you heard every player in the league talk about just how, he's a good player and his leadership qualities.
He's a locker room guy.
Exactly. So you're missing that. So I think it's I wouldn't say they're rebuilding. They're just in they're just kind of in a tough spot.
And look, for an example, if people want to say locker room guys or locker room players don't matter, look at the fucking Blues this year. Before, honestly, Berube was the one that got their heads on straight, and they finally started playing for each other. And
right.
If you're losing two locker room guys out of Carolina who are your C and A, they're going to be in a little. I think they're going to be in more trouble than people really think.
Yeah, either that or it could go the other way where maybe it lights a fire under some guys' asses to step up. So I hope so. I hope so. I like the team, so I wouldn't be. I'm not. I hope they do well, but
right,
it'll be tough for them for sure.
For sure,
to kind of find an identity again. I mean, Rob Brindamore is a hell of a coach. He's passionate about the game.
He's a good coach. He kind of weirds me out a little bit.
He's a little goofy.
I think we talked about this when we were doing the Hockey Talks during the playoffs because of the ESPN show, and I was just like, I don't know.
Oh, because he called the players sexy.
No, that was Bruce Cassidy. That was Boston's coach was saying that.
What did Brindamore do?
It was just the way he was talking. I don't know. It was just his mannerisms. I don't know. Something about his mannerisms. I was just like, stop it. I can't.
Kind of off.
I can't pinpoint it right now. But I remember if I watch it back, I could show you what it was bugging me. But no, yeah. Bruce Cassidy's a fucking weirdo. Fuck that guy. I would hate him as a coach. Give me I always liked playing sports just in general, I liked coaches like Berube. I liked coaches that were fucking fired up and kind of getting under your ass a little bit because it makes you play better. And I don't like coaches that are like buddy, like friend. Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah. I never have liked that.
Yeah. It's weird. That's why I think Brindamore kind of falls in kind of rides that line a bit. He can be a player's coach, but he's also a pretty big, intimidating motherfucker where he can fire you up. So he's got a tough year on his hands. So we'll see what happens.
For sure. Who do you have as a sleeper from this? Honestly, in my opinion, Philly or New York are my two sleepers.
Yeah, my sleeper is going to be
Islanders. Meaning, I think the Rangers are going to be terrible this year.
Yeah. But I mean, the Islanders finished second in the division last year.
Did they?
Yeah. I think I'm not even going to say they're really a sleeper. I think the Devils make the playoffs, but I think maybe the Rangers. I think Panarin makes an impact on that team a bit. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, and they got don't the Rangers? Didn't they?
They just
don't they got Capo? No, what's that guy's name?
Oh, yeah, Capo, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because he scored a fucking dirty ass goal just circling around the net in a scrimmage.
Yeah, Jesus. So they're gonna be my little sleeper team. I'm gonna go with the Rangers.
Really? Even with losing Zuccarello and Valesky?
Yeah, it'll be tough.
I hope you're right, because I have Lundqvist as one of my goalies in fantasy. So.
Yeah, it'll be tough, but I think maybe they pull it off.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go on to the Western Conference now. Let's go to the Pacific Division.
Oh, the old Pacific, eh?
Yeah, the Pacific, eh? Probably, looking at this division, still probably the weakest division in the NHL.
Yeah, definitely. I got, coming out of the top of that division, the Vegas Golden Knights, baby.
Oh, they're going to be back with the fucking vengeance this year.
Yep, it's exactly my reasoning, man. They're too good of a team, man. That fucking, what's that goddamn guy's name? Marcia Salt or whatever? That guy can just play hockey, man. He is so good of a He's an underrated player, I think, man. I think he's so underrated in this league.
Oh, you know how I feel about him. I remember when the Knights drafted him in the expansion draft, I texted you immediately. I was like, how that fuck did Florida not protect him?
Yeah.
He had 60 points the previous year for Florida, and he had 30 goals, I think, too. And you don't protect him? Like, right. What the fuck, Florida?
Yeah, I don't know what the mindset was there, unless maybe they thought that, they'd have to sign him for too much and whatever. So I'm sure that came down to like contracts and salaries and shit. I feel like,
I don't know, man, because it's just like, if you look back at that team, they protected Luongo over fucking Marshalo, however you pronounce his name. It's just like, I just don't get it. Like, that's an easy way to get rid of Luongo's contract too. Like, if they would have taken him.
Yeah, but I don't know who they had as a goalie.
Man, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think they were just in like a shitty spot. Like, it's a dumb decision, but they were probably just like, we don't know what the fuck to do.
I think getting rid of him was just, that's the one of the expansion draft moves that blows my mind. And I know people from St. Louis will be like, well, we didn't protect Reason. We ended up trading him 2 months later. And it's just like, well, look at what we got out of him. We got Oscar Sundqvist, who's been a fucking stud.
So. Right. Exactly. So, yeah, I think they just come back with a vengeance. And Flower can still stop a puck, so it's huge.
I can't decide. Can't decide between Calgary and Vegas. Oh, shit. NXT, let's go.
Did you see that move?
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. I want to say the Flames, man, but I feel like they're missing a defensive aspect of their team.
Yeah.
I feel like they're very offensively rounded, which isn't bad. Like they're able to make the playoffs, and they should have put up a better first round, but they're just missing a little bit. They're almost, I won't say they were like us in 16, but they got a lot of skill. There's just something missing there.
Yeah, I'm going Vegas. I'm picking Vegas. I think, like you said, defensively, I think they're better, and their goaltending. I mean, you can't go against Flower.
No. Yeah. I mean, that guy's just good.
Yeah. Who's your bust from the Pacific Division?
My bust. And if I'm right on this, somebody owes me a hand job.
If it's who I think you're going to say, who I might say too. Great minds.
The San Jose Sharks.
Yep, that's who I was going to say. I think the Sharks bust.
I think somehow they bust this year, and I think you see the Yotes and the Oilers like slip in that division.
I think Arizona is going to be your sleeper for sure this year.
Yeah. I think
Arizona's looking pretty decent coming forward. I mean, they getting Phil Kessel, signing Clayton Keller to a big long-term deal.
They got some pieces there.
Their goaltending's not too bad. Like,
yeah, they're not a bad team. They're sneaky, and they got Biz Nasty in the office. So,
he's just going to be tucking in, flicking the bean. He's just going to be like, flick that bean till they get to the postseason.
It's going to be dishing out some Pete Whitneys to the boys, and I think they're going to put up a good year. I'm going. I've had the San Jose Sharks have been the one I've been like waiting to just be like, yeah, they're not going to make the playoffs this year.
I totally believe that too, just because I don't think Erik Karlsson is going to stay healthy. Number one, Joe Thornton's too old, and they lost Pavelski.
Yeah. They lost Pavelski, and poor Brent Burns. I like Brent Burns. I really don't hate San Jose as much. Like in the playoffs, like obviously we hate the fuck out of him, whatever. But I got some guy like Brent Burns is a player I can respect. He plays the game the way he plays. He can be a little big and a little rough and dirty, but he's a damn good player. And it's like, man, that's a guy I'd like to. He deserves a cup, but you're with San Jose and you're my conference. So
I used to really be a big fan of Karlsson, and the past couple seasons, man, he's kind of rubbed me the wrong way in terms of like he was a major issue in Ottawa. And just some of the comments he was making, not only in the St. Louis series, but in the Vegas series too, is just like, dude, you guys haven't won the Stanley Cup yet. Like,
yeah, man, he was like,
the hand pass comment was a douchebag comment.
Oh yeah. That's it. He's like, he got kind of douchey and he almost seemed like not overly like focused being in San Jose.
Right.
I feel like he wasn't 100% committed to that team.
No, and it seemed like he got an ego.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He definitely got an ego.
And I don't know, man. I just don't see San Jose. I don't see Evander Kane having the year he had last year. I see Ryan Reeves beating the shit out of Evander Kane, honestly.
Gang, bro. I hope it does happen.
Dude, Reeves. Have you ever seen Reeves lose a fight? Because I haven't.
No. Nope, I've seen him have a draw. I've never seen him lose a fight.
And Evander Kane's one of those players, man, like, until he fights Reeves, I will still call Evander Kane a pussy, because he's one of those players that runs his mouth, starts jabbing, takes slashes, he'll start slashing other players, but he will not fight when push comes to shove. But if he fights Reeves this year, then I'll eat my words. I'll take that back. But, like, this year is the year, like, Evander Kane, to me, needs to fucking man up or shut the fuck up. Like, because he's not that good, and he was fucking hated in Winnipeg, like, by his own team.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the dude's shredded. He's got a wagon on him, but he's got an ego problem.
Right. And the management of the way they handled Pavelski, I think, is kind of bullshit. It's a guy who's, like, been a lock in San Jose. He's been your leader in San Jose for years, and then you basically say, fuck you, go to Dallas, and we're basically keeping this brand new guy we've had for 1 year. It to me, like,
and we're gonna keep Joe
it's very injury prone. Like,
yeah, we're gonna keep old Joe Thornton too. So
right, yeah. I like it. The way they handle Pavelski kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, it wasn't very fair to the guy, but I guess he's better off in Dallas.
Right. So moving on to the Central Division, who do you have winning the division?
Not even being a homer or bias, but I think the Blues. I think they get the division back this year.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. And it's really tough because I was really tied between them and Colorado.
See, I'm picking Dallas. I think Dallas will take the division this year.
I think the moves they made look good on paper, but I don't see it meshing well with the team.
I don't know, man. If you can get Pavelski and Corey Perry to fucking play like how they can play, Dallas is going to be scary.
Yeah, but it's...
And if Bishop can stay healthy...
Yeah. And they got Zuccarello.
Yeah, they got Zooks. Did they re-sign Zooks?
I think so.
Couldn't remember if they did or not.
Ooh, big move. No way. Sorry, that next team.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know, man. I like Corey Perry, and I like Pavelski, but I'm not saying they're too old, but I think I just don't see their game fitting well in Dallas for some reason. I don't know why. Jesus. I don't have a specific reason, but that chair shot.
The knee?
Yeah.
I was talking about the power bomb.
I don't have a specific pinpoint reason, but I feel like there's gonna be some chemistry issues there. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We'll see. I think Pavelski and Corey Perry are almost kind of too similar, a little bit. So I don't know. I mean, those are my three. If I had to pick the top three in our division, it's going to be us, Colorado, and Dallas.
That's 100% agree with that.
But I think it's going to come down to us in Colorado for some reason. That's just my feeling. But I agree. Dallas could they can be dangerous. So we'll see.
Sorry, I just saw the kendo stick where it just Riddle caught it.
Long, yeah.
But yeah, man, those are the three I think are going to be on top of the division for sure. I have two busts.
Okay.
My first one obviously is Winnipeg. Winnipeg, I don't know what the fuck is going on in Winnipeg right now, but I mean...
Yeah, they got a broken home. Somebody got a divorce in that fucking house or something.
It's just a shit show. You have Jacob Trouba traded away. Kyle Connor won't sign or show up to camp. Tyler Myers was traded to Vancouver. Patrick Laine is playing Fortnite in Switzerland. And got fucking Dustin Byfuglien, who's just I'm going to retire. Basically SpongeBob, and I'm going to head out.
I think Byfuglien was just I'm sick of this shit, man.
Right, what the fuck? Laine is a fucking head case, number one.
Dude, I don't know what that guy... I don't know if he's upset because he wasn't in, the Vikings TV show or something, but... damn, dude, I get you had kind of a down year last year, but, what's your issue, man? What's the deep issue? You're going to be a top... How many more minutes do you want?
Right.
It's Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know what his issue is, man. There's something going on there.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And I hate players like that, and I don't like him in the NHL because it's almost like the Antonio Brown thing. It's fucking this NFL's always like this with somebody, and I don't want that in my goddamn
Riddle
pocket
Cole
at all. Yeah, bro. Saw this.
Did you mean to do that?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man, I don't know what that guy's problem is, but he's probably throwing a fit and wants to be traded and go to a different team. And it's dude, you have a solid fucking team right now. What's your problem?
Right.
You guys are a good fucking team, and now you're just throwing it away to, I don't know, be a baby about whatever you're being a baby about. So that's my bust too.
I don't get this whole MO with Laine, because Laine, dude, he scores 5 goals against us last year at the beginning of the year, and you're fuck, Laine's going to have a hell of a year. And then he, 29 games without recording 1 goal?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the dude's a head case. He only plays when he wants to play. Like, he's not an every shift type player, in my opinion. Like,
yeah, he's young. He's not much of a team. He's not a team player.
No, not at all. It's about himself.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like, if I'm a player on Winnipeg, I'm like if I'm fucking Wheeler, for example, I'm pissed.
Yeah, man. I'd be fucking heated. Would not be happy.
Like, I'm fucking pissed if I'm Wheeler and Lane's going to be pulling this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Wheeler doesn't deserve that at all. Like, Wheeler, he's a good player, plays the game right. It's like, it's not fair to him. And it's not fair to, and I know
Hellebuck's a great goalie, too.
Yeah, I know Dustin Bufflin just kind of called it quits, but it wasn't, all this shit wasn't fair to him either. And I think, you were right. He was like, I'm just going to head out, man. Like, I'm not
dealing with this shit.
I'm not ending my career dealing with this shit, I'll quit, and then if, I don't know, maybe if somebody's like, hey, Buff, you want to come play for us somehow, then maybe he'd go do it. But I think he was just like, I'm not going to play on a team all year where it's stressful, and I'm not going to love playing hockey anymore.
Correct. Right.
So, yeah, that's one of my busts, too. I got Winnipeg is going to bust. And
I had two busts. Well, this one, my second one's borderline wild card, possible missed playoffs bust. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they win a wild card. But okay. Nashville.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I see. I'm kind of between them and I guess I wouldn't really call Minnesota a bust because they didn't make the playoffs last year, but they kind of had a chance. But I don't see them.
I don't see Minnesota doing well at all this year.
I see them busting a lot harder this year than last year. One of my football buddies from Minnesota, we were talking about in in the offseason, I don't know what they did. They moved somebody, but they signed some older guys. I was like, dude, your guys' average age is 92. What the hell is Minnesota doing, dude?
Their GM was they fired their GM a few weeks into the offseason, and there was on Chicklets, they were why did this not happen sooner? It was almost like the GM that got fired was sabotaging the team on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
And yeah, Minnesota, I think, might be one of the worst teams in the NHL next year.
I told my buddy that from Minnesota. I go, dude, you guys might be a bottom 5 team. He's like, no way, man. I was like, dude, I know it's your team and you're optimistic. And I was like, I'm a fan of the Minnesota Wild. I've always liked watching them play in the past years, but I just don't see you guys doing very well, man. I don't think it's really. I mean, yes, it's the talent, but it's just you guys, your GM fucked you, and it's just not looking good.
Right. Oh, Nick Schmaltz was the other one for Arizona that they got that I couldn't remember because I drafted.
Yep,
I took him in. It was my last pick. I took him and Dylan Strome.
Defenseman.
Ironically, they both played for Chicago, but only one plays for Chicago now. But they were my last 2 picks. I'm like, dude, Arizona might be pretty fucking good this year.
Is Schmaltz a defenseman?
No, he's a left winger. His brother was the defenseman that played for us. Played for the Blues.
Okay. Yep. That's right. That guy. Yep. I couldn't remember if they were both defensemen out when we'd watch him play. I could never remember if he was also a defenseman.
Mm-hmm. And
that's a good player.
But Dylan Strome is fucking. He's a rookie. And
old Stromer.
Little Stromer was fucking good last year, but I still don't think Chicago makes the playoffs either.
No. Not yet. I'm actually watching them play the Caps right now.
They didn't really make any moves again. It was just kind of dude, these contracts are still fucking them up right now. Yeah,
that's kind of tough. It's really, it's damn, the Taves Kane contracts are kind of fucking up, but at the same time,
they still got the Keith contract, the Seabrook contract, the Crawford contract.
Yeah, and it's the Taves and Kane are still doing what they're doing. They're still producing, putting up points. Jonathan Taves is one of the best leaders in the league.
But it's put a fucking lock on the rest of the team, though.
Yeah, it's tough. But, it's the Blackhawks. They'll figure it out. It's almost it's kind of like the Cardinals in a way.
I don't know, man. Their GM's kind of a fucking idiot, if you ask me.
Yeah,
Bowman.
But we also had a really dumb GM for a while.
True. But some of these moves, I think, have just
Yeah. Well, apparently a lot of people aren't happy. I don't know if he's still there, but Stan Bowman.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He's the GM.
Is he the GM? I can't remember if he was a GM or if he was something. I can't remember if he was the GM or something higher up.
He was shit talking Quenneville, and it's like Quenneville didn't do anything, man.
Yeah, I think that was a battle of egos there.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Quenneville didn't want Panarin traded, and they traded Panarin for Saad.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
You're going to trade one of the best players in the NHL for Brandon Saad? No disrespect to Brandon Saad, but he's not the bread man. Like,
yeah.
Then you trade away Teuvo Teravainen, too. Like, you're trading away, like, watch, Dylan Strone's going to be next. Like,
yeah.
They traded away Schmaltz already, and it's just like, dude, like everybody good that the Blackhawks have drafted in the last few years has been traded. Like,
yeah, which is weird because they used to be the opposite, where it's like, fuck, look at all these good players they're drafting, now look how good they're doing. So, man, I think it just comes down to those big contracts they were giving away. So,
like, they draft great, and then when they're still restricted free agents, they trade their contracts away. It just like. To me, it's just like that shows you how much in trouble they are. Because if you don't fucking sign, to me, you can sign Taves and Kane, but the Keith and Seabrook contracts is what has really fucked them up.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Seabrook was a healthy fucking scratch last year for a lot of games. Like,
right. Yeah, they fucked themselves with the contracts, and now they're paying for it, which I love to see. But
yeah, I hate to see it. But a prediction of mine is that Robin Leonard is going to be their starting goaltender this year.
Oh, wow. Okay. Can dig that.
That and what else did I have? I had something else. I can't remember. But yeah, I just don't. Nashville, I just think their window's closing.
Yeah. But they got the best fans.
Yep. They'll go away. The second they miss the playoffs, they won't be there again.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see how long they stick around this year.
Right.
Yeah, I think...
and why is their arena so loud? Because it's the smallest arena in the NHL. It's not that hard. That's science. Like,
yeah. Oh, and why is it always packed outside of the rink? Oh, because Broadway's right there. So,
right.
Idiots. Yeah, man, I think their window's just kind of, like you said, window's kind of closing on their time to shine.
And I think, like, I know a lot of people will disagree with this, but I think getting rid of PK Subban will definitely, I think it will show. A lot of people will rip on Subban, but man, he can get points, and he can get points, and he can fucking play defense too. Like,
yeah, and he can take control of a game. So
yeah,
they're, yeah. Oh, which kind of sucks is they got that. No, what's that number 9? Oh, they got that Forsberg guy. Then they got who's the other guy they got? Good forward. Yossi?
Victor Arvidsson. Roman Yossi's their defenseman, their captain.
He's a good player.
Philip Forsberg, Arvidsson. They have one more too. Which
I can't think of it either. But Forsberg, I mean, they still got some guys, but
Johansson.
Maybe that's it.
But the thing that I think is very telling to me is Pekka Rinne's game, especially last season. It looked like it's slowing down, and dude, he does not perform that well in the playoffs. He had that one good year where they made it to the Cup final, but after that, he has not really performed well. Last year, he was letting in some goals that were very questionable.
Yeah, he might be hitting his Carey Price stride, especially if they can't figure out a way to keep putting a good team in front of them. It's going to be
the thing is, Carey Price, I still feel like is a good goalie. He's just on a shitty ass team. You can't expect him to win every game. Like, Jonathan Quick is still a great goalie, but like he's on a fucking terrible LA Kings team.
But I mean, we also saw Price. I don't think it was last year. I think he did all right last year. Maybe the year before, where he was letting up some goals. Where it was like, is this kind of the downfall of him? But you never know, though. It's hard to say sometimes with goalie like the Carey Price and even the Pekka Rinne. As much as I hate the guy because he was a wall, has a down year, but those guys have that mentality of being able to pick it back up and figure it out. So
right.
But you're asking a lot out of that guy to, you lose PK and your team's not as good as it was last year, and you're asking Rene to stand on his head. It's a lot to ask out of a guy who's getting older. So we'll see though.
And
I hope they suck.
Fucking Avalanche are going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
One of the key moves that they made this year that not a lot of people are talking about, that I think it's going to be a huge move, is getting Nazem Kadri.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Like, not a lot of people are talking about that, and like, Nazem Kadri's a great fucking player. He might be a head case, but he's a great player.
Yeah, dude. Are you kidding me? Oh, that's tough. I hate that I like watching Colorado though. Like, it's kind of a fun team to watch.
They are.
They're so quick. They're so fast. The only thing about Colorado that I haven't bought into yet is I think they should have re-signed Varlamov, and I don't think their defense is as great as people are saying it is. I mean, like, fucking Eric Johnson's one of their like number one D-man still. Yeah, well, they got that Calamari kid.
Yeah.
So I think if they figure out if that kid can be the player he's supposed to be, build around him on your defensive end, they'll start looking even better on that end. But I agree with you on that. I mean, Eric Johnson's your number one guy. Come on.
Right.
Come on. You might as well get Eric Brewer there, too.
Oh, shit. They just remind me. Colorado reminds me a lot of Dallas, like in terms of like where their back end, like their forwards are fucking scary, and then their back end is just kind of very out in the open.
Right.
Where this is where the Blues come in, and they're just I'm not even trying to be biased. They're a well-rounded team.
This is the most well-rounded team I may have ever seen,
and we have the. I'm not even not even being biased. We might be the most like depth team in the NHL. Like,
without a doubt.
We can take somebody out and put somebody in, and they will start anywhere else. Like,
yeah, that's why we won the Stanley Cup.
Yep. And that's going to be a big factor, I think, coming into the season too, and for the rest of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. As much as I'm definitely gonna, if it's us in Colorado battling, I'm gonna, obviously hate the fuck out of Colorado, not be happy for him. But and plus, I've every time we play Colorado, it's just like an amazing game. I feel like both teams just for some reason it brings out the best in them.
Yeah. No, they hate each other.
It's weird. Yeah, it's
The Blues are going to have now, let's see. The Blues are going to have at least 3 of those, maybe 4 or 5 like of those teams this year. Like, this might be the most exciting year of hockey that we'll ever have. Like, since we're the defending Cup champions, Dallas is going to be gunning for us. Nashville, Chicago, Winnipeg, and Colorado. I mean, like, this whole Central Division is just going to be a fucking war this year.
Yeah, man, we're like the toughest division to play in, but yeah, man, that's like those games against Colorado are always my favorite because they're just like almost old school hockey. Like, there's big hits, there's quick plays, there's big saves, there's fights, but it's like there's nothing like dirty about it, but it's a gritty, dirty game every time we play those games. And I think that's probably going to be how I think Dallas, we're going to have those like you were saying in our division. It's going to be fun, I think. I hope so.
Same.
Or we just blow through the fucking division.
Could you imagine? I actually don't want us to do that because I feel like just looking at past history in the NHL, I feel like that's just always bad.
Yeah, I'm trying not to come like too hyped up into this year for us because I know like things could go. I feel like you get too hyped up and then the team lets you down. But I'm not as hype as I was last year, I guess, coming into this year. You know how last year we came in and was like, oh, this fucking... I mean, granted, we won the Cup, but we had a really bad half season.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we'll probably have our strides of, a week or so where we don't play as well, but it won't be as bad as it was last year.
It probably won't be as bad as last year. At the same time saying that, I would not be surprised if we have an extremely slow start like last year, though.
Yeah. I see us being a little more just consistent this year.
Yeah, I agree.
Not losing our game as much. Like, if we, have a couple... it's like last year where it's like, okay, we played bad, lost, but we were able to bounce back. Like, we're going to be a better bounce-back team.
I think, for sure, and I think defensively this year I think we are going to eat... Me and you especially, I think, are going to eat our words on some players defensively this year.
Definitely. Oh, 100%. I think so too.
Yeah. All right. All right. So yeah. So real quick, going back through who we think will win the divisions in the Atlantic. You and I both picked Tampa Bay. Metro, I picked Washington. You picked Pittsburgh. In the Pacific, we both picked Vegas Golden Knights. And in the Central, you picked the Blues, and I picked the Dallas Stars. For the bus this year in the Atlantic, I picked Florida. You picked Buffalo. In the Metro, we both picked Carolina. In the Pacific, we both picked San Jose, which would be fucking wonderful. But,
yeah.
And in the Central, we both picked Winnipeg, and I'm borderline wondering if Nashville will be a wild card type team.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. All righty. All right, time to predict early predictions on who we think will make the playoffs.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
That
I
should
don't
be
know why I
fun.
just did the ESPN thing. But, are we doing 8? Are we going like 1 through 8 from each conference, or how are we doing it?
See, this is why I got confused, motherfucker. So we're gonna do top 3 from each division,
Okay.
and then 2 wild cards.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, 'cause I think last year we picked
8, and then we were like, "Oh fuck, that's not the playoff format anymore."
Yeah.
That's why I got confused.
We somehow fucked ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So top 3, are we doing like in any specific order, or are we just doing the top 3?
Let's see. Yeah, let's try to do the order. Let's try the top 3. Who we think will finish the division in the top 3?
Okay. Well, that's not really bad either, because we already picked our top ones from each division, so really just picking 2 more from each division.
So here, real quick, let me just go through that real quick. In the Atlantic, me and you with Tampa Bay.
Yep.
And in the Metropolitan, I have Washington, and you have Pittsburgh. All right, let's go back to the Atlantic now. Who are your 2 teams? Who are the other 2 teams from the Atlantic that you think will make the playoffs in 2 and 3?
I got the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Boston Bruins.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do the same.
Yeah.
Only I'm reversing. I'm going Boston second, Maple Leafs in third.
Oh, okay. That was the finish last year. So, believe it or not, I'll actually send you a snap so you kind of know what I'm talking about. My dad or some got something from somebody. It's like a standings thing, but it's like the goalie helmets, and you just pop them in. So I filled them in after the Stanley Cup with how the standings were from last year for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at that right now. So I kind of have a base of what we finished last year with each division, that I can act like I know what the fuck I'm talking about on this show.
Wait, you have what we had, or what the actual
what the actual standings were last year. So yeah, you're predicting what happened last year, which was Tampa,
I see it.
Tampa, Boston, and Toronto.
Oh, that is what happened last year?
Yep.
All right, look at me.
Yep.
All right, let's go to the Metropolitan. Of course, I have Washington number 1. You have Pittsburgh. Who do you have for the next 2 teams?
I got Washington coming to the number 2 there, and then I got the New Jersey Devils at number 3.
It's funny. I'm the complete opposite again. I got Pittsburgh at number 2, New Jersey at number 3.
All right. Well, New Jersey's going to go from last in the division to 3rd, in my opinion.
Dude, they might, man.
I think so. Pick up PK. You get Jack Hughes. I hate
Taylor
to
Hall
predict.
could have a comeback.
I hate to put this voodoo, but I see Jack Hughes getting injured bad this year.
Really?
I just think he's small, man. Like, he's good. Like, he's gonna be good. His stature isn't gonna hold him back in this league, but I see him getting shit wrecked or something weird, and it's almost gonna be like a McDavid kind of injury thing where it's like, fuck. I don't know why. I think he's just almost a little too small. But I don't know. I could be very wrong. That's just a weird feeling I have. I hope not. The kid's fucking phenomenal.
Who are your 2 wild cards in the Eastern Conference?
So my 2 wild cards are going to be the Florida Panthers and who the fuck did I say my bust was in the Metropolitan? The Rangers? No, I said the Hurricanes.
Carolina.
I'm going to go with the Panthers.
At number 1?
Nope, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to go with the Islanders at number 1 and the Rangers at number 2.
Ooh, you're going to New York.
Yeah, man. I think that the Metro Division might take all 5, which sounds weird, but fuck, the Central does it.
I'm going to go with Philly.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Newark Islanders and Philly. Islanders at number 1, Philly at 2nd.
Yeah, Gritty had a rough rookie season, but
a team that wouldn't surprise me if they made a comeback in the playoffs is Detroit.
I hope so.
Stevie Y being back.
Stevie Y, baby.
I see them. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they make it, but with that being said, at the same time, I see them missing the playoffs, and this is kind of like they're still in that rebuilding stage, and I think next year we for sure see them back in the playoffs.
Oh, I think so, too. I think Stevie Y is going to pull off some fucking magic somehow. I love that guy. I'll follow that guy wherever he goes. He almost brought back Pavel Datsyuk this year, and I would have just... Right. I would have had my 90s boner all over again.
Do they have Bertuzzi? Tyler Bertuzzi? Or is that Arizona?
I think Detroit has them, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
I believe so. Yeah, he is. He's good. Yeah. Yeah, I hope they start picking up again. I miss the Red Wings. I miss them in our division. Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Gary. All right, on to the Western Conference. In the Pacific, we both have Vegas at number 1. Who's 2 and 3 for you?
So my number 2 is going to be the Calgary Flames, and my number 3 is going to be the Edmonton Oilers.
Really?
Yeah. I just can't see McDavid going another year without the playoffs, man. That team's got to put it together for that guy. Like, if there's anybody I want to win a Stanley Cup from here on out, it's him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel you. McDavid, it's to me, it's like you have to make the playoffs this year, or like if I'm McDavid, and if I don't make the playoffs this year, if I'm McDavid, I'm asking for a fucking trade.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset if that guy got selfish finally.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll see. Well, I imagine then you're flipping, you're going to put the Yotes in from where I have the Oilers.
Yeah, at number 2, I have Calgary. At number 3, I have Arizona.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, I was toughed in between the Yotes and the Oilers, but I got to go with my boy McDavid.
I just think Arizona is going to surprise a lot of people this year. I think they're going to be a lot tougher than people are giving them credit for.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Central Division, I have Dallas, and you have the Blues, who are 2 and 3.
My number 2 is going to be Colorado. My number 3 is going to be Dallas.
Yeah, which we kind of already hit on already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For
me, number 2 is going to be the Blues, and 3 is going to be Colorado.
Okay. It's going to be a battle, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like a season-long battle of like just flipping in and out of spots in that division.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Which is going to be interesting.
Who are your 2 wild card teams?
So my 2 wild card teams are going to be the Yotes and the I'm going to go with the Predators. I think the Predators still have enough to push a wild card spot.
Yeah, the more and more I'm looking at like the teams left, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure the same for you as it is for me. I kind of have the Oilers and the Yotes are probably interchangeable a little bit. Obviously, I think I'm going more Edmonton, you're going more Yotes, but I think we both agree they could possibly interchange each other. I think somehow those teams make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. My 2 wild cards are going to be Nashville and Edmonton. Just looking at I think we're kind of starting to see, as tough as like the Central Division is, I think we're starting to see the downfall of the Western Conference in a way, and I think that has a lot to do with the Pacific Division.
Yeah, the Kings, Ducks, and the Canucks don't do anything.
Right. The Canucks, I wouldn't be surprised if they're halfway decent this year.
Yeah, that's true.
Elias Pettersson, if they can get somebody surrounding him, I think that'd be a great move.
Yeah.
But the worst team in the NHL? This is what we haven't discussed yet. Who do you think is going to be the worst team in the NHL this year?
Oh dear God!
I think I know mine. Nice. Fucking right. Sorry.
What happened?
Kushida just showed off his 2 mystery partners, and it was Breezango.
Oh, nice. I'm going to go with the Ducks being the worst team in the league.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. I think the Ducks will be the worst team in the NHL this year.
Yeah. That's kind of sad, but...
I mean, you're losing 2 veterans, locker room guys, and who can't even pass a fucking physical.
Right.
And then you just add on to last year. Is their head coach still what's his name?
Belsma, Panamana.
What was that, their coach? I thought it was
I don't know. They've had 90, I feel like. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, maybe it is Boudreaux. Can't remember.
No, it was the guy that was coaching Toronto for the longest time. Oh my God, I can see his face.
Well, it was Randy Carlyle. Now it's Bob Murray.
Who I met.
Now
it's Bob Murray.
Now it's Bob Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just not going to be. They're just not going to be a good team.
Right. And Eakins is one of their coaches now.
Oh, is he?
Dallas Eakins, not Cody Eakins, I guess.
Oh, well, that makes me sad.
All right. We got 2 more predictions. Actually, let's do something that we didn't do last year. Okay. Who will be in the Eastern Conference Finals?
In the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
Well, now I got to think of how I guess my teams are set up, ranking-wise. I'm gonna go Tampa Pittsburgh.
Tampa Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
I'm going Tampa Washington.
Oh, okay. I like it. Both of us going with our top teams. Tampa Pittsburgh. Tampa Washington. Tampa. Please do something. You guys have been too good.
Western Conference Finals. Who are your 2 teams?
I'm gonna go Blues. I'm gonna go Blues Knights. I'm right in the top of the divisions.
That's exactly what I have.
And I kind of want to see it. But then I'm going to be heartbroken because it's going to be Ryan Reeves.
Right.
And I don't want to see anybody else celebrate with the cup but Ryan Reeves.
Right.
I set myself up for heartburn.
Heartburn?
Oh, man. I feel bad for the top teams because, fuck, I mean, we know, even before last year in the playoffs, that anything can happen. But I think I would just like to see the Blues and the Knights.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. Be a good series. Well, that's a scary series.
So with that, now, who do you have winning your Eastern Conference between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Pittsburgh Penguins?
No, I'm on Tampa.
Tampa, yeah, me too. I have Tampa beating Washington in my Eastern Conference predictions. going to the Stanley Cup final. And then for the Western Conference, who do you have between the Blues and Vegas Golden Knights?
Oh, Jesus. God damn it! I hate this part of the show. Let's go Vegas. Just so I don't seem overly biased on the show or anything.
I'm not even being biased. I think the Blues will go. I think the Blues will be back in the finals. I really do. Just from looking at everything right now, studying everything, I really think the Blues. I would not be shocked if the Blues end up back in the finals.
I think I'm also just going off the weird superstitious part of me as a hockey player, where it's like, well, I picked them to win the division, so maybe I jinxed them for the cup, so maybe I'll pick them not to win the cup, and that'll help them win the cup or get to the cup. If the wind's blowing this hard on this day, and I don't know. God damn it! I hate having a good team now.
Tampa Bay, Vegas. Who's winning the Stanley Cup?
Tampa. I'm going Tampa, man. I'm going to ride Tampa out until they win it.
I'm going repeat. I think Blues win another Stanley Cup, and I think we'll just be in heaven again next year. I really honestly believe, I have a gut feeling that we will repeat. I think we will shock the world.
So you're asking me to get really sick again?
Yes. Yeah, you have to die basically this year.
Jesus Christ. If it happens, dude, you better call the news and be like, you have to do this story on this kid, dude. This guy deserves it. This kid played hockey his whole life, loves the Blues, and he hasn't been able to celebrate the 2 Stanley Cups we got. Give this guy some love.
I have a superstition why. So I think we repeat because I get to go see the Stanley Cup again tomorrow, so that means I get to touch it twice. So I'm just giving that good juju to go, this is a 2-time repeater.
All right, calm down, Randy Carriger.
No, if I was Randy, I would start talking like this, and I just know everything. And if you
Look at my big smile.
If you disagree with me, then I'm just gonna berate you, but act like I'm not berating you, and just everybody would still love me because I do it in such a nice way. And on top of it, I'm never wrong. And if I am wrong, I will just spin it to where I'm not wrong. Because that's how everybody is on ESPN 101.
Oh, God.
Am I wrong? Fuck.
No, not at all.
It's
I hope to God 101 doesn't tell Chris Kerber what to do on the radio.
No doubt, man.
So that'll just piss me off.
I'm right there with you.
I like the pick, though. I'm hoping we get there again. We got the team. We can do it. So
yeah.
And we said the same thing last year about the team. So you never know.
Never know. All right, that just about does it here. The first Hockey Talks of the year, the prediction show. Let's hit him with that hat trick.
Oh boy, the hat trick. Number one, obviously, hockey's back, baby. It's gonna be a hell of a season. Looking forward to it. My number two. Oh man, what could be my number two? I'm gonna keep them all hockey, obviously. My number two. Finally, Matthew Tkachuk gets signed. That took way too long. That should never happen with a player like that. Figure it the fuck out, NHL.
No doubt.
And my number three. Just the biggest news of the week as a St. Louis fan. Welcome to the St. Louis Blues, Justin Folk. We're happy to have you. You're going to love it here. The fans are going to love you. And we expect great things because you are great. So, but I don't want to make it sound like it's like, well, you better, we expect things out of you. You better give us what we want. Just, he's a good player. I hope he can help us out and improve our power play and on top, with that fucking Doug Armstrong, can you just calm down on my throat a bit? Because just keep shoving your dick inch by inch down it. So give me a break, brother. But yeah, that's just incredible news that came out of nowhere, man. So let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues. All right. My number one, hockey, I just have to say the same thing as you. Hockey's back. It's the best sport in the world, and it's back. Fuck, man, I'm excited. I can't wait.
It's back so soon for us, man. It was like the perfect amount of time off.
I was still like, it still went slow for me.
Did it?
Like the last month, I was like, all right, I need hockey back. I'm bored. Like wrestling hasn't been that good. Like I need hockey back.
It went fast for me because for 2 months I was able to actually live my life a little bit, but now I'm back in the I'm back in the shitter again, literally and figuratively. So it came nice little break for me.
Yes. Number two. My number two. Shout out to the NHLPA for keeping for not optioning to review the CBA deal right now. So I think that's just a win for hockey fans. I think it's a win for the players in the league. So
yep,
that's a win. And my number three, Stanley Cup banner is getting raised on Wednesday, and it's just like it's gonna be like a moment in time where time's just gonna freeze, and it's like sound's gonna drown out when you see that fucking banner getting raised. It's just gonna be like, holy shit. And then the sound slowly fades back in when it's up in the rafters. The crowd's going wild, and here we are back. The NHL season's here. I mean, it's been a long time coming. The fucking Stanley Cup banner will be raised on Wednesday. Like, holy shit.
Place is gonna be so loud.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because you have to think, like, aside from the preseason games, the crowd hasn't been in the arena with the players, like, to celebrate that shit, you know?
Yeah, it's gonna be so loud. Yeah. And that's how you properly raise a banner in Nashville.
Yeah, no doubt.
You don't just make them up.
Right. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Hockey's back, baby.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yep. All right, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at OffendedPod. Make sure to go follow PWP Nation at PWP Nation and all social media platforms as well. I'm buying time right now to look something up.
Okay.
Make sure to go, and also make sure to go follow Hotbox Hockey and all social media platforms as well at Hotbox Hockey. If it was just that, I just would have just said that. Hashtag PuffPuckBass. You can buy our t-shirt at www.prowrestlingtees.com by searching Offended. Buy our t-shirt, please. They have long sleeve t-shirts so you can wear into the arena if you want during hockey games. So go do that. Maybe we should make our own hockey jersey because that'd be awesome.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Right. It'd just be black and just say Offended on. Like, not even with our logo, it would just be like the letters. Like it would just be like the generic, like
it'd be like the old African American jerseys that were like just ironed on somewhat.
Right. Yeah.
You
have to take it to Johnny Max, get the iron
on. Yeah.
Make sure to listen to Offended, which is out tomorrow on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, wherever you get your podcasts, just by searching Offended. Subscribe, follow, give us that 5-star rating, and make sure to go check out... No, never mind. I'm done with the plugs.
Shaw just got his butt whooped.
What?
Sorry, I'm watching this Caps game. Didn't mean to interrupt your plugs. But
I overplugged it.
Shaw from the Blackhawks just got fucking taken down in a fight.
Good.
Oh, never mind. It was kind of a weak takedown.
Yeah,
sorry for bringing up the Blackhawks.
I overplugged it anyways, so that's fine.
Okay.
Anyway, you can follow me. It's been a long. This is our second episode in a row that we're doing in one night.
We've been talking to each other for 4 hours straight.
Yeah, I'm over it. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, PlayStation if you want at Trick1042. You can follow Stoutsy at
JimmyJames9417 on Instagram and Twitter. James V Stout on Snapchat.
All right. Hockey talks, baby. Hockey in general is back.
Love it. Love to see it.
Too. It's
not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. Go drink some Pink Whitneys to celebrate. I finished my 2 bottles so quickly. Fuck. It's just hockey's back. I'm just so happy. Yep. It's time for the Blues to defend the throne, baby. I can't wait.
Let's do it.
All right. Hockey talks will be sporadic throughout the year, obviously, like last year. So.
Yep.
Just stay tuned to our social media when a new one's going to come on. We'll try to do... So, like, this is coming out on a Thursday. and we will try to do every Monday, put out the Facebook version for you nerds that listen to it on Facebook instead of just listening to us on a podcast format, but whatever. So we'll try to keep it like that. But anyway, hockey's back. Let's go Blues. Oh, man. Happy, Stoutsy. I'm happy.
Excited. Let's get it.
Let's get it. For Stoutsy, I'm Tricky. This has been Offended's Hockey Talks presented by PWP Nation and Hotbox Hockey. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.